Hey, good morning. Welcome back. Welcome in, everyone. It's Laura, and we are going to get a message for today. What do you got for us today, Spirit? I am using the Shamanic Healing Oracle cards, and we get the new day. We get a new day here, and isn't that so fitting for just walking through the equinox portal? We just entered into a new astrological year. And I do feel this energy of justice. And so justice is the energy of balance, right? I don't know if you're kind of balancing the darkness, the shadow aspects with the light, but I do feel there's growth. I do feel there's balance. I do feel there could be a situation here reaching some type of completion. On the bottom of the deck, we get movement into balance. And so that's exactly what this is all about, right? And so we can't have the bright days without having the dark days too. And so I don't know if you're going through an emotional purge or you're completing a cycle that has maybe left you in a state of emotional discomfort. But I also feel this underlying energy of the magician coming through. And the magician to me is saying you have all of the tools, right? You have all of the tools to create any reality that you like. And so the tears that you have shed in the past were basically watering the seeds for what it is that you are going to be creating now that this new day has dawned, right? And so I also feel, I don't know, for me, this kind of reminds me of like a dragonfly. I love dragonfly energies. It always reminds me of my grandmother. And so we do see the sun is kind of rising here. I do feel the sun is rising. It's not setting. And we see all of this new growth. And so I don't know if somebody here is completing a cycle of growth after purging all kinds of negative emotions. But I feel there is movement into balance here. This message today really just ties beautifully into the energy of renewal. And so there is an opportunity, I want to say here, to move forward. Perhaps even with a new, clearer perspective after leaving behind the weight of the past. This really is a message, I feel, of stepping into a new reality and taking the lessons that have shaped you and learning them and moving forward, right? I think this too is a reminder that each day is a new opportunity to realign with our highest self, with our highest path. With that archetype energy of the Justice card coming through, I do believe this is a message of truth. This is a message of fairness, karmic balancing. And somebody here I feel is encouraged to see a situation clearly, right? To see it clearly, to free yourself from the emotional distortions, from any illusions, and to go forward acting with integrity, right? I do feel there is a need to release a past judgment, whether it was self-imposed or external. There is a need to embrace a new path, unburdened by the old stories, unburdened by the old narratives that you tell yourself. And I just feel there is a new beginning here, and it's going to be built on truth, right? Accountability. There's not going to be avoidance. There's not going to be illusion. There is a new day here calling us to move forward without repeating the cycles of the past, right? And so there's a very dynamic process of realignment happening, and there is a need to recognize perhaps where your energy has been stagnant or out of sync and take those conscious steps to restore equilibrium, right? That's the balanced energy, equilibrium. So I feel there's a shift to somebody's internal world that is about to be reflected externally once you bring your harmony together between your mind, your body, and your spirit, right? And so this resonates so strongly with the energy of the magician. And the magician does embody the power of transformation, right? The magician sheds the old. The magician is also a master of manifestation. The magician does understand that true balance is not passive, right? We do have to act consciously to create. We do have to use all of the elements, the earth element, the air element, the fire element, and the water element, and bring them all into harmony with that focused intention, right? Manifestation is a pretty tricky thing. And so I feel the message really is coming through pretty clear so far that somebody has everything that they need to restore balance, but I think action kind of has to be taken here. There is a need to maybe recognize power dynamics that have shaped your reality. I do feel somebody here is being pushed into aligned action. We're going to go a little bit further here with the tarot. I'm using the Transient Light tarot deck. Look at that, bottom of the deck, the Nine of Coins. If that doesn't scream independence and aligned action, I don't know what does. So I don't know if something maybe has felt a little bit off balance or off kilter. But I do think it's time, yeah, off balance or off kilter with that Five of Wands. I think it's time to bring yourself back into the flow. Don't worry about outside opinions. You're going to have to trust. You're going to have to put in that effort. You're going to have to allow things to unfold. If you've been feeling stuck, I think the message is movement is happening. So just engage in that inner magician, because you are actively creating something here. So let's get a few of these tarot cards out and let's see how this message all ties in together. The Six of Swords. So I want to say you're crossing a threshold of transformation. We see the butterfly on the card, and we do see the bridge, which to me is like crossing a threshold. But I also feel like, man, then boundaries are firm. Like you're crossing a threshold and you're not going back. So we get the High Priestess that came out with the Six of Swords. We get the Seven of Wands. And below the Seven of Wands, we get the Emperor, which is the energy of the great defender. So I feel two separate energies here coming through today. I almost feel like a block between two people. The Magician and the High Priestess together in a union is the ultimate power couple. We had two more cards fall out on the table. We get the Ace of Wands and the Five of Wands in reverse. And so something here I feel is coming unraveled. You see on the card, it looks like a string of beads that is broken, that's coming undone. And I'll never forget the moment in time when I was on a subway train in London, England, and my chakra bracelet broke and it flew all over the train. It was pretty interesting. And so sometimes things have to come apart in order to come back together. I want to say that. And we get this Champion of Swords or the Knight of Swords in reverse. And so this is like unexpected, fast communication. There is the energy of the Lovers. Holy moly. And so I just feel there's going to be an unexpected arrival. I do feel there could be an unexpected choice in love here. After some type of unraveling, there's going to be some type of new beginning. I also feel a Four of Cups. It's almost like there could be an Emperor energy here facing all kinds of challenges. We do see the mountains on the card, but this is the rise. I want to say the rise of the masculine coming through, and there could be like a huge release. There's like a Four of Pentacles in release. So whatever this masculine, I want to say, has been gripping to or holding on to, it's about to be released, and there's about to be a blessing or a new opportunity to start a new cycle from a clean slate. There's without a doubt some type of transition. I feel there could be a divine feminine here moving away from any type of chaos and conflict and crossing a bridge and not looking back. And I do feel there's a divine feminine here seeking peace. I do feel this is the representation of the divine feminine journey of trusting the unknown, leaving behind the mental anguish, right? Leaving behind the mental anguish, the emotional struggles, and embracing the higher calling and transformation. We've got somebody here spreading her wings. I don't feel this is merely physical movement. There is a major energetic shift happening. And I feel there is a release of past wounds, past manipulation. There is a big energy of surrender. The High Priestess, I do have to say, is the ultimate divine feminine archetype. This is a mirroring energy of movement. There is a divine feminine here trusting in the unseen, moving forward with blind faith, and is leading through her intuition. And so I feel there is a divine feminine here moving into a very sacred space of deep inner knowing. I gotta say, I recorded a reading prior to this, and obviously the message wasn't meant to come out because I got a phone call, and when I went to click off of the phone call, the whole reading shut down, and so that message wasn't meant to come through. But the High Priestess did come through in the first message, and there was a sacred journey attached to the oracle card. And so this really is a similar vibration of messages, just a few different cards. And so I do feel there is a divine feminine here releasing the need for external validation, and there's like a huge energy of trust in the universal plan. emotional healing, energetic alignment. And so there is a new day. There's justice, I feel, playing out for a divine feminine here who is stepping into what I want to call is like a karmic reset. There's an understanding of past lessons. They're seeing things clearly. And there's a huge undeniable energy of trust in the path forward. So I feel there's a feminine shedding fear, shedding anxiety, shedding old belief patterns. And then we've got this divine masculine who I feel is learning to stand his ground, right? Stand his ground and rise as that great defender. And so I do want to say, it says the great defender. There is also a masculine here that I feel could be struggling between resistance and stepping into true leadership, because the Seven of Wands is the teacher of the teacher. It is a leadership card. And so there could be a masculine here feeling very defensive, feeling very challenged by external pressures or internal fears. And I do feel this is a call for grounded leadership, but there's resistance, and there could be resistance due to a past wound within this connection, or even a past childhood wound connected to external authority. So I feel there's a masculine here learning to balance the ego with wisdom, learning to trust rather than control. And there is a need to shift, I feel, for the masculine from guardedness to creative action. And so we've got the bridge energy, right? We've got this bridge. We've got the gate. We've got the gateway. And so I do feel there could be an energy of a divine masculine coming out of isolation, or both counterparts coming out of isolation from healing abandonment wounds and moving beyond what I want to say is lack mentality, right? The Five of Pentacles can indicate lack. And so I feel both the feminine, the divine feminine, and the divine masculine are both shedding past fears connected to rejection, loss, and unworthiness. I did not plan on this being a divine counterpart reading today, but what comes through, I have to channel. And so I do feel there is a new opportunity here after this shedding, right? There's a new opportunity. There's going to be stability. There's going to be this energy, I feel, of a grounded new beginning. And so both counterparts, I feel, are emerging from a period of separation, self-doubt, hardship, even hardship with that Five of Pentacles, and stepping into a tangible new beginning. And it might take some effort, right? I think of Pentacles and I think of timing. And so over the course of the next year, there will be a rebuilding or manifestation of this connection in the physical realm. There's going to be a chance to rebuild, a chance to reconnect or co-create in a healthier, more balanced way. And so there is this energy of both counterparts healing and stepping into a more stable, aligned energy. But we got to talk a little bit about the bottom of the deck. And so I feel there's been a lot of delays in movement forward. There's been a lot of delays in communication. There could be hesitation. There could have been a lot of hasty, impulsive words spoken in the past that has held back some type of movement. There could be also a struggle with expression of truth. I don't know. It looks like the eagle. And so there is a need to confront fear. There could be a confrontation before moving past this past pattern. There could be a rushed energy connected to ungrounded communication. But ultimately, the Lovers is a clear indication of a deep soul connection, a divine union. This is confirming the energy that is definitely playing out between this counterpart dynamic that came through today. And so there is a choice at play. Life is full of choices. And so both counterparts are being guided towards alignment. But it does require a choice, right? We all have a choice. We can stay stuck. We can go forward. But there is a strong separation of an indication of some type of shift connected to a separation where maybe there's been silence, maybe there's been distance, or maybe there's been confusion. And I do feel there's going to be an opportunity for a reconnection, an opportunity to rebuild, or to maybe even change the way this connection was handled in the past, because I heard mishandled. And so this communication might not come in the way that you expect, or in the timing that you expect it to come in. It might be delayed. It might not happen today. but the energy is shifting today. It might come in an indirect manner. It might come in telepathically, but I do feel despite any hesitation, despite any hardships, there is a deeper alignment happening as the divine feminine moves towards inner peace and an inner knowing. The divine masculine is working through that resistance and stepping into leadership. And I feel both are kind of healing that abandonment wound and moving towards the new. So I do feel communication is coming in, but it might not be linear. It might not be as you expect, but there is like this energy of a turning point. So let's see what needs to come through for a closing message. We get the soul connection. And so there is a deep, significant soul connection here that has played a significant role in your evolution. So I don't know if you both had to go towards short-term karmic relationships to go into one last cycle before planning long-term commitment, but this is a very important soul connection on your journey. And so the takeaway is practice self-care, right? No matter twin flame, divine counterpart, soul connections, no matter what, this is a journey of self and practicing self-care. And so nurture your earthly body, get grounded, make those healthy choices, and watch out for those unhealthy habits, because I do feel something here is shifting below the surface. So let me know down below if this message resonates for you.